Minute, there has been some breaking news, and that's that the key economic statement we were expecting on Monday has been delayed now for more than 2 weeks. The new date, the 17th of November. What more can you tell us, Darren?
Yeah, indeed. We just had a cabinet readouts from cabinet this morning that broke up, just over or around an hour ago. And as you said, that fiscal event that we're expecting next Monday, that had been in the diary since Jeremy Hunt had become the new Chancellor under Liz Truss. There was much speculation over the last day or so that would be delayed, that they wanted to get it right, that it wouldn't be next Monday, the 31st, Halloween, with all the possible horror story headlines you may well have around that as well. It is now delayed, and it's been rebranded as the Autumn Statement, and it will take place on November the 17th. Which is a Thursday, which is pretty unusual, I'd say, for a fiscal statement. And also, I think the reason it's on a Thursday is because that is also the week of the G20, which the Prime Minister will be attending in Indonesia, in Bali. So on Thursday, November 17th, we're going to get the details of the kind of medium-term fiscal plan. We'll also get those OBR reports into the state of the British economy, if you like. It was in part the fact that was not issued at the time of the mini-budget that led us into the crisis that we saw in terms of soaring interest rates and the collapse in sterling. Now, how are the markets going to react to this delay? I think on the whole, given that things have been pretty stable over the last couple of days, really since Rishi Sunak seemed to be the favourite to be Conservative leader, I'm not expecting a massive market reaction, though frankly it is better to talk to Liam Halligan about that. I do see that sterling is essentially up to 116, I think, today, so a sign that there has been some confidence restored there. We also did get further details of what was discussed in cabinet, by the way, Tom. The Chancellor talked about economic stability, but the Foreign Secretary updated about the international situation and the threat posed by Russia. The Home Secretary talked about ongoing work to tackle illegal immigration, and the Prime Minister said this was a complex and challenging issue that the public rightly expected the government to find a long-lasting solution to. And the Prime Minister concluded by saying the government faced an enormous task, but that he remained confident they would deliver for the whole of the United Kingdom. He said now was the time to get to work and repay the trust of the British public. One other piece of news, that is the Prime Minister, of course, is going to go to PMQ's Prime Minister's Question Time in the next 30 minutes or so. He'll leave Downing Street, travel the very short distance to Parliament. I suspect there will be questions about Suella Braverman and her appointment as Home Secretary, not least of all because Yvette Cooper, the Shadow Home Secretary, has issued a statement in the last hour as well, writing to the Cabinet Secretary asking about the reappointment of Suella Braverman as Home Secretary, given her resignation last week and the fact that she admitted a mistake by sending emails she shouldn't have done. Yvette Cooper asking the Cabinet Secretary whether an investigation has been completed into whether any security lapses or similar breaches of the Ministerial Code by Suella Braverman has taken place, and whether there is also an investigation by the Home Office or the Cabinet Office, and what assessment has been made of the severity of these security lapses involved, i.e. Labour trying to pile the pressure here on the government about the appointment of Suella Braverman. There have been reports this morning that Simon Case, the Cabinet Secretary, was not terribly happy about it. It will be an issue, I suspect, at PMQs today, alongside possibly those tough economic decisions. Another test, of course, for the new Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, as he takes to that dispatch box at midday.
I suppose another couple of words that we'll be listening out for carefully at Prime Minister's Questions will be non-DOMs. It's something that Keir Starmer has brought up in a number of Prime Minister's Questions in the past when he thought perhaps Rishi Sunak was more likely to become Prime Minister. Might this new Prime Minister's wealth and the situation, the tax affairs of his family, be brought into the discussion today?
It may well be, Tom. I don't know for certain. You're right, though, it is an attack line for the Labour Party. Is today to bring it up? I'm not entirely sure about that, but be in no doubt, I think that line, also Labour have issued an attack ad in the last day or so. Again, this is politics, unsurprisingly attacking Rishi Sunak, focusing on that statement he made in Tunbridge Wells during the summer campaign about the redistribution of wealth and government funding away from parts of northern England to the south. Now, Rishi Sunak has made it clear that there are areas of deprivation, severe areas of deprivation, just as much in southern England as there is in the north. And I think actually relatively that played well with the Conservative base. It's one of the things he got right as a Conservative campaign, but Labour clearly think it is something that may well work well in the red seats, and I suspect whether it's today or next week or sometime in the future, again that will be an attack that Sir Keir Starmer will try to land on the Prime Minister. But aside from all of that, of course, there are still decisions to be made about who serves in government, because while we've had the appointment of the Cabinet, Tom, we've not had the whole raft of junior ministerial kind of toings and goings, the hokey-cokey about who's in and who's out in those Minister of States and PPS jobs and elsewhere. And that job will begin immediately after PMQs with the firings, the sackings, if you like, happening inside Parliament, as is tradition. And then he'll come back here to Downing Street to appoint those new junior ministers, a process that will take certainly hours and may well drag into tomorrow.